So now I'm going to break down for you the labor cost. And when you have a good idea of what the labor cost, how many projects you can do per year, what the profit generated from those projects are, how that profit is recycled into doing more projects, doing token buybacks, increasing the value of the token for our community, you'll start to understand why our business model makes so much sense. So let's start with the labor cost breakdown. So this is labor cost breakdown, and I'm going to break it down very simply for you. I'm going to show you the cost of one labor. Then we're going to add 5 labors, which is a minimum mandate that you have to have from Dubai municipality for one project. And so then you'll start to see the cost of 5 labors, one project. Then I'm going to explain what the cost of the labor for 2 years. So you get a clear understanding of 2 years, and then how many projects you can do in 2 years, and we'll break down the profit. So let's start with one employee. So one employee, the actual total cost over 2 years is 62,000. And we're talking Dubai dirhams here. We're not talking dollars, just so you guys are clear. This is 62,000. And then we're going to break down how that cost is actually spent, so you have a clear idea as well how it works. And I'm just basically going to walk you through here. Our first 3 months, there's a first 3 months cost, which we feel is upfront, which the company should have on hand. Remember we explained project planning, making sure you budget properly for a project? Well, this is where it comes into play. So your first 3 month cost, there's 3 things involved. There is the cost to bring from whatever country they are, or if they're in the country, some of these costs may be reduced, but there's the average cost to bring. Then there's the salary, and there's accommodation. And this runs for the first 3 months. So as an example, I'll give you a hypothetical situation. Let's say a laborer is in India, Pakistan, Nepal, Philippines, anywhere right now, and they come over to Dubai. Our cost to bring them here is around 10,000. This includes your flights, your visa, your medical insurance, your accommodation, your ID, and your salary. So, everything but the actual accommodation and salary. So the flights, visa, medical insurance, and ID. This costs around 10,000 for us to bring them here. And once they're here, their visa is already processed. They rest one day. They go through an educational class that we set up for them first. And then the next day, they're on the job site working. That's how efficient we keep it. There's a 2-day process from the time they land here to the time they go through our education, our initial crash course, and they're taught everything, all the roles and protocols, they sign their undertaking, and then next day, they're on the site working. So we don't bring them in advance. We have a sourcing process in advance and a stack of applications waiting to bring them. The moment there is a project that has been signed, the first guarantee check has been transferred to us, the approvals are in place, we can begin the construction immediately. Then we bring the labor, and only then. We bring the labor, 2-day process, 3rd day they're on the site. And so then there's your salary budget and your accommodation. Average salary is around 1,500, roughly, a little bit more, a little bit less. So for 3 months salary, it's around 5,000. Then there's your accommodation. Average accommodation is around 400 or 500, which is per month. And so for 3 months, the accommodation is 1,500. In total, my cost to bring one employee for 3 months is around 16,500. 16,500. Now, in the first 3 months, they're working on the actual construction project. So phase 1 is done, phase 2 is done, phase 3 is done, which is a 3-month process. And in those 3 phases, there's profit realized. There's also their salary being paid from that profit realized expenses on that project. And so I've kept the money up front, but they're covered for 3 months, and the money that's generated from that, they're covered for the next 3 months. And then it goes into our 1-year cost. Salary for 1 year, if it's 5,000 for 3 months, over 4 months, which is a year, over 4 quarters, which is a year, it goes to 20,000. If it's 500 dirhams a month for accommodation, over 12 months, it goes to 6,000. So our year 1 cost per employee is 36,000. 36,000. Now, some of these things that we spent in year 1 do not have to be respent in year 2. The visa is a 2-year visa. The flight has already been paid. The medical insurance is for 2 years. This ID that you receive is for 2 years. And so your cost to bring, which is 10,000, you do not need to pay it in the 2nd year. So it reduces our overall cost per employee in year 2. So year 2, salary is again only 20K. Accommodation is 6K. Total cost for year 2 is 26,000. It's a 10,000 dirham saving between year 1 and year 2. So the total cost for 2 years is 62,000. 62,000 is the total cost for 2 years. Now, if we have, that's the cost for 1 employee. If we have 5 employees, which is what you need for a project, that's our 5 employee total cost is 310,000 dirhams for 2 years. For 2 years, total cost. Now, I will break down a project cost breakdown to show you at what amount of projects were profitable and at what amount of projects our cost is covered. We just meet our expenses. So let's jump into the next part.